Shit. What's up, you guys? It's your boy, the Kryptonian, saying, bringing you a review for One Piece Chapter 378. Holy shit, Luffy has taken out 500 of these Navy guards. This is unprecedented for One Piece, in my opinion, so far. I mean, we've seen some incredible feats, don't get me wrong, but 500 guards, like, holy shit, man. Like, 500. Like, at first they're going, oh, span him, it's only 400. Wait, five. And he's like, oh, of course, he's only one guy. He's only taking out five. And it's like, dude, if he just told you 400, and he said, no, make that five, I'm pretty sure he's referring to the fact that he just took out another 100. Like, that's showing a little bit that Spandam's in his own Ubers at this point. If you don't know what that means, I'm saying he's a little, caught up in his own arrogance, thinking that his man can't be taken out like this. And knowing that Luffy's crew is right behind him. And if you thought that chemistry that Frankie's men showed, even though they got their ass whooped, they showed some pretty awesome chemistry. And then when you had Paulie jump in and you saw the teamwork was working, if you think that that was something, wait until Zoro and Nami and Sanji and Usopp or Sniper King show up. Like, this is about to get really, really good. And I wasn't thinking this at first, but the fact that Rob Lucci is there and Luffy is making his way through, it really seems as if we're going to get like a Straw Hat versus CP9 fight. That'd be pretty damn cool to see. I personally would like to see them all together, and because it seems like Oda's been experimenting a little bit with, just having everyone fight at once and like the teamwork. So personally, I would like to see that. Maybe even see Chopper come in, use that Rumble fruit. And when Chopper decides to throw down, he's actually a pretty good fighter, man. Like, in a way, the way Oda is handling Chopper really reminds me of how Kishimoto handles Sakura Haruno. I know some of you guys are like, oh shit, another Naruto reference. Sorry, not really. But the thing is with Kishimoto and Sakura could fight. She's actually very skilled in Genjutsu. Doesn't really use it in the series. Whereas she doesn't fight simply for the fact she's a medical ninja, and it's best for her to stay back. She's more apt when it comes to dodging, but if she has to fight, she can throw down. And when I look at somebody like Chopper, I see Chopper kind of being held in that same vein where, Chopper can fight, and he's more likely to fight than Sakura, so he is useful in that sense. But the thing with Chopper is Chopper is more likely to want to take care of everyone, and if he's fighting, I could definitely see an internal monologue in Chopper's head where he's like, man, these guys are really tough. I wonder how Luffy's doing. I wonder how Zoro's doing. I hope I don't have to heal them. Let me finish this now. I could see Chopper, even though he might be fighting some super powerful opponent, putting the needs of others before him. And I mean, I'm starting to love Chopper's character for that reason. But what I thought was really, really cool about this chapter is how when it opens up and you got like the two giants from the warrior tribe and they're talking all this shit. I'm thinking, okay, you know what? They're doing all this trash talk. There's no way in hell Oda's going to make them this powerful, right? They end up taking out the biggest members of the Dismantles crew. You get this really big speech, and they're going, okay, we're dismantlers. We have to do this for Big Brother Frankie. Everyone hold the line. And it's just like you see this really big build-up. And then Oda just pulls the rug out from underneath, and it's like, that's it. They get taken out. They get one-shotted. And it should have been obvious to me, right? Because when you look at the cover page and you have like Baroque Works kind of fighting back against some of the Navy people, you knew this chapter was just going to be super chaotic, right? I don't know why, especially after the last chapter, I don't know why I thought that this wouldn't be as chaotic of a chapter. Big mistake on my part, right? But I really loved it when Paulie and them showed up, and Paulie's got the ropes and he's pulling the guy down by his neck. And then you got the two chicks like the slashing at the feet. Then they end up tricking the other giant for the Navy. He ends up bringing his like club mace down on the other guy. Oh, that was beautiful teamwork. And you got Paul and I'm like, oh yeah, one more to go. And it's just like they might actually pull this off. And I'm really wondering at this point, what does that do for Water 7? Because they're basically aiding and abetting at this point. And we know that if Tom can be shut down simply for building the ship that Gold Roger used, what does that mean when it comes to Paulie and them helping out? That's going to be really key in the Frankie family. And the reason why I'm asking that is, let's say Frankie builds a ship for Luffy and it's just as big as the merry-go, right? I don't see Luffy being the type of person where if the Frankie family and Paulie help him out and they're being wanted by the government, especially given some of the skills some of these guys have, and the fact on the Grand Line, like Frankie, I think at this point Frankie is pretty much a shoe-in to join Luffy's crew because he's fighting directly with Sanji and Usopp when they're on the sea train, fighting directly with them. I believe he was taking on Fukuro, and now like he's like knee deep in with this. I can see that. Okay, like he wants to build a ship. Luffy needs a carpenter. So that part, I mean, that seems obvious, but the Frankie family in itself, like they're so passionate for Frankie, and it feels like wherever Frankie goes, that's where they go. And he would have to build a really big ship for all of them, unless they're going to be some of these Straw Hat affiliates where Luffy has them on standby in case they're in some type of jam. I could see that. Maybe when we have to deal with the Buster Call, they kind of come in, and that's how they, pull their weight on that regard to buy time for Luffy and the Straw Hats to slip out. I could see that. But if you guys will recall, I believe it was when I saw the size of Don Krieg's fleet, and said Luffy, it was either then or during the Baroque Works arc, but I said Luffy, at some point, I would really like to see him form alliances, because as his crew is now, I don't see him getting to the end of the Grand Line. Obviously, I don't know what the fuck is waiting there, but it just seems like the further we go into the Grand Line, and it's a shonen, so it makes sense. The further we go into it, the more powerful these opponents are getting. And I could really see Luffy using the Frankie family for that aspect. But my thing is if they're here, let's say we're in the middle of the Grand Line, and Luffy gets all the way to where the One Piece is, and there's this really big battle, right? Let's say Luffy and Ace are having it out, or not Luffy and Ace, because Ace isn't after the One Piece. It's more he's with Whitebeard, and Whitebeard's trying to do it. So let's say Whitebeard and Luffy have this really huge battle, right? And it's to decide who's going to be king of the pirates. And Luffy and his crew are kind of outnumbered. Something unexpected pops up. The Frankie family, there's no way in hell they could get there in time. So I feel like if he forms that alliance, they got to be traveling somewhere nearby. Like if Luffy's 2 islands ahead, then they're 3 islands behind him. That gives them time to get there. That's the only thing I can kind of see. So overall, this was a pretty good chapter, guys. Pretty good. Not a 5 out of 5, but it was a pretty damn interesting read. My chapter question for you guys is going to be between the Straw Hats pending getting there, right? Like getting onto the Navy headquarters and just really fucking stuff up. And then with what you saw with Paulie and the Dismantlers, what were you more excited about? Were you more excited about the teamwork that we saw on display in this chapter, or were you more excited about what was coming up ahead? Somehow I feel like we got a lot of Straw Hat fans that are going to be like, yeah, I was waiting to see Zoro come in, and I could see it. I could see it. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to share. Thank you for watching Kryptonian Saiyan. Have an awesome day, guys.